Hello everyone, I just wanted to real quick jump on here, give a shout out to Austin Schilling. He actually had a very good question about using meat shields in the game and if they are actually worth having. The answer to that is yes, but also no. Depending on your level, things like that, and obviously the level and power of other people in your current server, it may not be beneficial to have a meat shield because it will just look like a tasty target for someone to come slaughter. Myself, yes, I do have a meat shield. I personally use level 5 troops. I actually do have 560,000 level 5 vehicles, commandos, and copters, 500,000 of each of them, using level 10 and 11 troops as my main defense and level 5s as a meat shield because they are very efficient for that. If you are going to be a lower level person and you want to use a meat shield, by all means go ahead. I'm not ever going to deny you of doing that or condone you for doing that. However, the thing to keep in mind is if you're going to have a meat shield, it would need to be at least the same size of your normal fighting troops, so your higher power. So if you have, let's say, 400,000 level 7 troops, you're going to want to have 400,000 level 3 troops as a meat shield. If you want to do level 5s, you most certainly can. Level 5s are a good round strength troop to use, which is why a lot of higher level people do use those. However, that being said, if I see a level 26, 27, and they're over 14 million power, I'm going to naturally assume it's a lot of troops that they have, and I am going to hit them repeatedly because from hitting that, you're going to end up getting, I will end up getting a system rescue, plus normally some survived troops from that after a hit, which would then mean I can hit them multiple times and actually get 2 to 3 times the amount of kills. So yes, having a meat shield is good as long as you don't have huge people in your server that can easily decimate you. If you're in a newer server, meat shields are good because everyone's going to start out balanced, so having a meat shield is going to make you harder. Having defense officers is a huge factor. I actually tell my guys that if they don't have decent defense officers, to not really worry about a meat shield, to just keep artillery together and enough troops to attack with. Because if your defense officers are all crap, I do apologize, you're going to lose. Defense officers is the only, that and your Air Force is the only things you have to help your troops when you're doing a defense. And with all the stats of officers that are attacking you, if your defense officers are not good, you're just not going to make it. So it does factor in on those two things, your level, the level of other people in your server, and your defense officers. In a new server, it's not going to be that important to have good defense officers as no one's going to have them. And the people who do, they're going to be spending money and they're going to be high power, so you're going to know that they have them. All that being said, meat shields are good. You just have to determine if you want to be a tease for someone my size, or if you want to wait and save yourself a lot of dying and dead troops and have a meat shield when you're bigger. My regret that I have, and I'm going to show you, is the amount of troops that I've lost. I've lost 43 million troops because when I was smaller, I used to love having a large amount of troops. I thought it was so cool. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'd get smashed. So I'd rebuild, think it's so awesome again, and get smashed. Having the defense officers is a huge factor. Having research is another big factor, probably the biggest factor. And obviously making sure that if you are not going to be in a bubble and at risk of getting attacked, that you have your Air Force at home, so that way you get the attributes of that as well. Those are my thoughts on meat shields. Do with that as you want. I think I've listed all the pros and cons to it, and the factors. So make up your own mind. I myself would prefer you to save the resources to build the troops and the speed ups to build the troops and the troops themselves until you are a higher power person and are actually not going to be eye candy for someone else. So do with that as you will. And I am signing out. Thank you all.